So we are back with the Sunday after the Saturday before, and not like my previous two guests. I have a guy that's in much better spirits. My guy, straight from the cop in, smiling like a cat, a Cheshire cat. Beat my brother. How are you, my guy?
I'm paper away, bro. 5-0, I can't be any happier. The team's performing. If we played like that and won 1-0, I would have still been happy. That was just
You
the
know
way the
what?
guys was playing.
Before I even ask your review, now, when you see the game start already, and you see already Salah's on point and Danny Rose is huffing and puffing and panting. That's when you know after 3 minutes, this is going to be madness. But look, I know there was a few questions with the whole Fabinho, Ellison thing, but honestly, Keller had nothing really to do besides the second half. The game was done by then. I
Yeah.
think your midfield, personally, is set up to accommodate the front three. And clearly, no matter who slots in there,
Mm,
they do their business, which we can clearly
yeah.
see right now. But before I get into that, give me your review about the game yesterday. What did you think from the get go already, given the lineup and everything that went on?
I was surprised to see Keita Milner in there in the midfield, even though we didn't have Fabinho. I thought he was going to be more attacking to attack them by playing players that can, like, I would have started Ox in a game like that. But I'm sure he wanted the guys to find their feet first and whatever. And like you said, when Salah was on Danny Rose's case, I don't know why Ranieri didn't do something about it before the goal. He turned him twice before he turned before that assist. So I expected him to, like, you could see it, the midfield came more over to the left to cover Salah and to help Rose, but it clearly didn't work. But like you said, all our guys was on point. Like Keller didn't have much to do, but because of Van Dijk and Matip having one of their best games, even though they didn't get much work, the structure at the back and the midfield that played obviously allowed our front three to run right. Trent was, I think, probably it was probably one of his best games ever at
I was
Liverpool.
about to say that actually. I was about to say, I think that was one of his best games.
Defensively was always a question mark, but yesterday he was doing everything right. He didn't get an assist, but he was involved in most of the play. And I was surprised to see that there was even times where Salah was behind Trent. Trent was further up
Hmm.
and not slotting back, and Salah would be on the halfway line. Trent would be ahead of him, and Matip and Van Dijk will come over, which is something very unusual. But we went for Danny Rose. That was it. That was Klopp's game plan because I don't know why he went there because that guy, he picked up a lot of weight. I don't know if they could pick it up. He was like a chubby bumpy rolling all over the show there. And yeah, Salah put him on his ass a few times. So I'm very surprised that he played the full 90. Even second half, when they made so many changes, they brought Cleverly on. He brought some difference in there, but that's not what they
Hmm.
needed. They didn't have possession of the ball. They needed to get someone to get possession of the ball first in order for Cleverly
Exactly.
to do something. So, nah, Klopp, hands down, best 11. He chose best 11 in his book and it showed. I didn't agree with most of it, but it proved me completely wrong because the guys did what James Milner just showed his versatility once again. He can
I
be
was
all over.
I was about to come on to that. I was gonna ask you because look, I look at you guys and I was sitting yesterday and I was thinking, yeah, I'm envious of what I'm seeing now because it reminded me honestly of, I don't want to get all nostalgic and whatever, but it reminded me of our invincible team where no matter who goes out, you have a suitable replacement to suit the
Yeah,
system. The
it's the
system that
system.
you spoke about, what you spoke about so many times before. James
Mm,
Milner for me is like the Benjamin Buttons of football. He's not
yeah.
getting the older he gets, the younger he gets in his performance. Even Nabil did well, honestly.
Mm,
So for me, I was in awe of it all. Your front three, surely talking about your front three, and we've had this debate. I didn't. You had a debate
mm.
with Bram a couple of weeks ago with regards to Firmino. Give me your thoughts about Firmino and Jota being out.
Firmino to bounce back the way he did. Obviously, the goals that he scored is perfect for his role in the team. I don't expect Firmino to beat three players and then shoot one outside the box and shoot. I see a set piece corner coming in here, that's his score, or a tap in. That's it. That's the only goals Firmino was going to score. And if he doesn't get that, he won't score. That's why last season he didn't score any goal.
Mm.
But it wasn't his place in the team was always cemented because he is a system player. He is there for our
He is the
system.
system.
And If he doesn't play, we change our system. We saw Salah and Mane play with Jota, but you see how Jota is on the score sheet every week, week in, week out. Because when Jota plays, there's a different dynamic for the front three. When Firmino plays, we play our Champions winning league. That when we won the league that year, we see that system being played. So I'm glad that he scored. His goal rating now is better than most of the strikers in England because he's got now 4 goals in 6 games.
4 goals in
He
6.
scored in the he scored in the Champions League as well. So it's almost like he's trying to silence the critics, but I feel he didn't need to. So
He didn't need to, for me, in my personal opinion.
And people always ask, is he done? That Champions, when we won the league, that was the last time we saw Firmino actually doing something. But yesterday, he just proved everyone wrong to show that Klopp will believe in Firmino whether he scores or not. But like we both agree, he is the system. And with him there, you see a better Salah, you see a better Mane.
True. I want to come on to something. Before I come on to Salah, actually, I want to come on to one guy who's really stood out for me this season. Besides Salah, who you've missed a massive, he made a massive impact. The fact that he was out last year, and that's Big Verge. I personally feel he is the best defender in the world right now, my guy. Like, do you think? And I had a debate yesterday with a guy between who was better between Rio and Van Dijk. We'll obviously have this discussion Friday or Thursday, whichever day our pod is going to be. But I want to come on to modern day defenders right now. We've got right now. I think he's got everything. He can pass the ball. He is big. He's strong. He's never on his ass, which I relate actually, because for me personally as a defender, if you're always on your ass, why are you in that position in the first place?
Exactly.
You should read the game beforehand already. He knows already. I think whoever he plays next to, me and you can go play next to him and we'll still keep a clean sheet. That's the way I personally feel about him. How do you feel about Van Dijk being back? That must give you a massive lift.
No, I fully agree with you there. And what makes it even more fitting is the fact that when we didn't have Van Dijk, we would score goals because we had Salah, Mane, and Firmino. We would score, but we would always concede. And that's the issue that Klopp saw. We needed a keeper and we needed a centre-back. He couldn't have signed a better centre-back.
Exactly.
When he signed him, everything worked. When he wasn't there last season, everything fell apart. If we lost 4 players due to injury and he was not one of them, we would not have had the poor season that we did last season. If it was anyone else besides him, and people know that, and that is proof to me that not just for Liverpool, but for any team, if he's in your team and he has that big of an influence and is not there, I use United as an example. They would have played a much better game had Maguire not been fit. He trained one day, which was the Friday. He played the Saturday. They're playing Atalanta on Wednesday. They're playing United. Why play him against Leicester?
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of Bailly, but I would have used him there. Whereas Klopp is trying to not do what happened last season to prevent that by having Konate there.
The exact same thing as well.
Exactly. So we will take Van Dijk right through the season. We would use him sparingly, but it will not have the same impact. If he should be out for another season, we won't have the same season we had last year because people forget when he was out, it wasn't just him. We lost like 5 key players.
There was a whole lot. There was Trent out, there was Robbo, there was Matip, there was a whole lot of them actually.
We had 9 centre-back pairings in like 10 games, different pairings. So, no, I fully agree with you. In my eyes, he is the best centre-back in the world. And only because he's there, up there, because of his modern-day football brain that he has. Like you said, you get players like Vidic, Ferdinand. They could do the business, but they could never give a pass.
He looks like you're both. He can do both for me.
Yeah. He has that defensive ability where you can see, I always go back to that Spurs game where it was a 2-on-1 situation. I think it was Sissoko. It was Sissoko and Son running back to him.
I think it was, how many seasons ago? I remember that. You won that game 2-1, I think.
Yeah. It was a 1-1 situation. And the way he turned his body, forcing Sissoko wide to go onto his left foot. And then he kicked the ball
over the bar.
That is exactly what a good defender does. You can either jockey him like flat-footed. As soon as you turn your body this way towards him, running towards you, you can go either way because now you must go where he goes. But if you open your body up like it, he's not going to go this way. He's going to go around you. And that's what makes
Exactly.
a good defender. The composure he brings to the other guys, that is
Facts.
important. And that is why I rate him as the best centre back in the world.
For me, is the best. Is level set. But now let's come on to the main man. Um, Before we get on to who's the best player in the world right now, I have my own opinion. We're probably gonna agree on it as well. But do you think the fact that Mo Salah had all that time off is actually benefiting him this season? Remember, he didn't play any international football before in the off season as well. Do you think it's benefiting him, and that's why he's such a level ahead of all of them?
I would say it played a big role. So, yeah, I did benefit him in some way, but I don't think that it would have been much of a hindrance had he played
Mm,
international football. And the thing is, Salah never calmed down really. Ever
mm,
since he came to Liverpool and he started with his 40-goal season, they said it's a one season wonder. He proved them wrong after that because after that he got joint top goal scorer. After that he got the outright top goal scorer, and he's been firing all season, every season. This season again, you can't say he only does it to the smaller teams. He did it to City. He had
mm.
Laporte, Bernardo Silva, and De Bruyne on their backs in one goal. Watford he did to 2018. He did to Watford when he scored his fourth goal. All of
Yeah,
them was
I
laying on
know.
the back, and he
All
did
of
it
them, yeah,
again
exactly. He
yesterday.
scored a hat trick in that game. He scored like 4 goals or something like that
He
in that
scored
game.
four, yeah. He scored
Yeah, he
four.
scored
On his
4.
hat trick goal, he wanted to give it to Danny Ings, keeper saved, and
Yeah.
he made it four. So I don't see Salah slowing down at all. And the international break, yes, fair enough. He didn't go there, and it did give him some time off. But I think that because of what happened last season, everyone in the Liverpool camp has a point to prove to themselves, not to anyone else, to themselves, to show. Because remember, we still spoke last year where all our defense was out, but we still weren't scoring. So we would concede goals, but our front three was not firing at all.
Wasn't firing.
Salah would be the odd one that would score, but it
Mm,
wasn't as dominating as what we know Liverpool can be. So I do think the international break played a role in him. How can I say, being on the level that he is right now,
mm.
and I don't see anyone stopping him. Really, I'm excited for the United fixture because I see him. And I wish Varane is back, and I wish Maguire is back, fully fit, with no excuses. I want to move them at the back.
Save that smoke for later the week. But I wanna put your Liverpool at the side.
Hmm,
Um Pick one. Look, put your Liverpool at the side. Who's the
hmm.
form player right now? Lewandowski, Benzema, or Salah? Whichever one you're gonna say, I will agree with you. Whichever way, because they all three
Salah,
on form at the moment. On form at the moment. You gonna go Mo?
I'm gonna go Mo.
You're still gonna go Mo? Okay, fair enough.
Reason for that is because he's done it against who he did it and with the level that he did it at. Because he did it against City, he did it every game in the league, every game in the
Mm,
Champions League. That's
fair
the
enough.
only reason why. If he scored a hat trick yesterday, and that was his first, say he scored five in the season, I would not give it to him. But the way he is demanding goals from
Mm,
himself, the way he's playing, he's assisting more for goals that should have been goals, but it wasn't. Last year we all said, why didn't you give it to Mane? And nowadays he's like, he still scored two, but he's still giving assists also. So hands down, Benzema is fire, Lewandowski is fire. Even Haaland is good.
mm.
Messi,
Yeah,
Ronaldo, Mbappe, they don't even come close to their level now.
mm.
If you're talking
True.
about
I
current
agree.
form.
Exactly. I agree. I have about, I think, 3 more questions for you. One, I want to ask you, which goal was better, Watford or Man City?
I would say, oh, if I put the names of we beat in the City one, I would say City.
Mm.
But the technique that he used in the Watford one
Watford
was
game.
way better.
Yeah,
Was way better.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
if I should choose one of the if it's something that you should play in a Hall of Fame of Salah, I would then prefer the Watford one in there.
Exactly. That's what I was saying also. It's only because it was City that that
Mm.
people rate that goal. If that was maybe, let's say, a Brighton that he
Yeah,
scored the City goal against, that wouldn't have been that type of people would have lent more to the Watford
yeah.
goal as well. Um Next question. At Atletico in the week. How are you feeling about that one?
All high hopes. We haven't played them yet, so we have one or other two games. We need to win this one to take
Remember
the
you
champion.
lost there the last time, eh?
Yeah, we lost there the
You
last time,
see?
yeah, and that's when we were kicked out of the Champions League.
Mm.
So luckily for us, we won the two games
Mm.
already in the Champions League. But knowing Klopp, he's not gonna put all his chickens in one and say this is not just we're focusing on the United game, not the Atletico.
Mm.
He
You
takes
won't
a
know.
game at a time. He
Mm.
play his full strength 11 side against Atletico on Tuesday, and he'll play that same strength side on Sunday. So I see us running over Atletico. It's going to be a very difficult game. We're going to concede a goal. In my books, I feel we're going to concede a goal because of the type of football that they play. And there is room for exposing us if you play that type of football that Simeone plays. So I'd still see us coming away with the 3 points, which is just going to make our confidence even higher, even though we don't need it for United. But it's just going to make the confidence so much more higher. So I see us 3-1. We'll beat them on Tuesday.
Fair enough. You're not worried about your that man. You're not worried about him. I know how
he,
much you love
he,
him, guy.
he has it in him, and that's why I'm giving them that one goal. Uruguay
uh,
played Brazil, they lost 4-1. He scored.
he
he,
scored,
oh,
yeah.
he still has that in him, and he knows. Like what makes me happier is the fact that he wasn't there with the Klopp system. He
Mm.
wasn't there when Klopp made his Liverpool team that he's there. So it's very difficult for him to come to against Liverpool and try and use what he knows about Liverpool to get through to them. He's just gonna have to
Mm.
use his own brilliance to outmaster and scoring against us. So I do give
Fair
him
enough.
one goal.
True. Say no more. Last question. Do you think you guys can do it this year? Win the league?
To be
Because
honest,
clearly
yes.
at you, City and Chelsea right now. I don't count United in that. They did. Fuck them. They did. Only
Mm.
is a Tolly. We're gonna sing that song later in the week. Don't worry. But I mean, look at the way. Remember Brentford peppered Chelsea yesterday, and they came away with a victory. Edward Mendy was outstanding. So that's the
Mm.
games that they can win. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's championship material, in my opinion. When you're
Mm.
not playing well, to come away with something when you're under the cost. City is
Yeah.
City. You guys have been criticized for not signing players, that type of thing, but you're still the only unbeaten team in the league. So
Mm.
how do you see it going?
I do see us as contenders. I saw us as contenders early in the season, but not as strong as what I see now that we are
Mm,
contenders for the league. However, I do still like the fact that we are not number one. Like it would be Chelsea, City, then us. A
mm.
lot of people is putting Chelsea, us, then City because people
You,
expected more from City. Also, even
So
me.
you're saying I agree with you in the sense that you're saying it benefits you actually to fly a bit under the radar. Is that what I'm saying? Do you go about your
Yeah,
business
yeah.
quietly? I hear you.
Exactly, exactly. So I do see us as a contender. A lot of people won't say it because they would use this to say you have a great run, but it's early in the season. But if Chelsea does it, they won't say it's early in the season. They would see because of who Chelsea signed. They've got Lukaku, so they expected them to do good. They didn't expect us to do good because we didn't sign much. So I'm happy with taking the back seat on saying you are title contenders. We go about our business, we get the 3 points, we do what matters. If
Mm,
you ask Klopp, if you ask any of the players, are you title contenders? They will never say yes because they don't
mm.
see themselves as that. That is unnecessary pressure, and it comes when you sign players. If you sign
Exactly.
players for 100 million, 200 million
Facts.
players,
True.
obviously
I
you got
agree.
the target on your back.
Mm,
And so for us not signing a striker in January, we might sign a player or two, but I really didn't see the need for us to sign a player.
I
Everyone
also
told
don't.
me you're just being biased, you're just being biased, but it's proven. We competing in the Champions League, in the League Cup, and in the league with the team that we have. We
I
recalled
just
our
wanted
loanies, and that's it.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to actually shit, my mic is falling all over the place here. Sorry, my bad. I just want to cut you off. Sorry to interrupt you before you continue. I heard something crazy today that if Egypt and Senegal go to the final, because it's an international break, because of the AFCON, Salah and Mane only missed 2 games. So what the fuck is the fuss all about?
They missed 2 games, yeah.
Even if they go to the
So,
final.
yeah,
So anyway, carry on. Sorry.
that is an interesting topic because I don't know why. The thing is, it's only the African players that suffers, and a lot of clubs don't sign African players for that reason. They
Well,
can
did
be
you
how
know?
good, yeah. They don't want to sign African players for that reason of AFCON, and then you get players like Matip that turn around and say, "I don't want to play international football," and you don't want that from a player. And
True.
Klopp is not one to keep players, and Klopp is so like Allison. We need Allison. We need Fabinho.
Mm.
Klopp knew before they left that they couldn't make this fixture.
This
He
fixture
knew
already,
the players
exactly.
knew. The players knew. And he said it's so much more for the player to be with their family. It's not fair for that player to come back and his family needs to stay there or he needs to play without his
Exactly.
family. It's not right. Represent your country, come back in there.
Come
And
back
that's why
here.
he said we have depth in our squad. It might not be a Salah for Salah, but we have a player in there for Salah. Even if it's a game against City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Spurs, it doesn't matter. If Salah is not there, Mane is not there, he's going to make a
Man,
plan.
he'll make a
And
plan. Yeah.
and everyone's words goes back to the Barcelona comeback game where Salah was out. Bram's question again, who do you scare?
Yeah. Yeah.
With Origi.
With
Go
Origi.
ask
Yeah.
Messi. Go ask Messi if you were scared for Origi. So I'm really not concerned about the AFCON. I would want them to go and represent the countries, both of them, because I see us being at the stage where we can do without them even for a month or 2 games, 3 games, doesn't matter. Because, like you said, the system is there. The system is perfect. And because he's rotating players coming in, going out, it's what we wanted. Like a lot of people would say, our season winning, the league winning season was not lucky, but we were lucky to have our starting 11 every game. We had the odd change here and there, but there was no injuries. And that's why we went through that season the way we did. And it's proof because last season, we couldn't do that because our injuries knocked us. This season, we have depth up front, in the mid, at the back, in the
All
poles,
over.
everywhere. So international duty for us, that won't be a problem, especially for the AFCON. Matip is still going to be there. It's mainly just Mane and Salah. And we have Origi, we have Firmino, we have Ox playing up front, we have Jota. So excited times for us.
Fair enough, my brother. Love for jumping on, man. I must admit, I wish this chat could have gone on for another hour, but we'll continue it either Thursday or Friday. Look out, I hope to see you. I'm sure I'm going to see you for the United Liverpool preview, but love for
Yeah.
jumping on, my bro. Bless. Love to the fam.
Thanks a
And
lot for the invite. Thanks,
cheers,
bro.
my brother. Bless.
Cheers.